Michael Jordan once punched Steve Kerr during a Bulls practice. Not in a playoff game. Not in front of the cameras. This happened in training camp before the 1995 to 96 season when Chicago was preparing for something historic. Jordan did not just want teammates to improve. He wanted to see who could survive pressure, and that pressure could get ugly fast. Steve Kerr fouled him hard during a scrimmage. Jordan snapped. The punch landed. Kerr walked away with a black eye. The wild part is that Jordan respected him more after it. But not everybody survived that kind of leadership. Jordan mocked teammates in film sessions. He pushed them in practice. He attacked their mental weaknesses. Bill Cartwright even had to warn Jordan to stop tearing teammates down. Jordan built champions, but playing next to him was never comfortable. Kobe Bryant did not just live by Mamba mentality. He expected everyone else to live by it too. And that is where things got tense. With the Lakers, Kobe and Shaq won 3 straight championships together. But behind that dynasty was a long ego war. Kobe believed Shaq did not condition hard enough. Shaq believed Kobe shot too much. Phil Jackson later detailed the dysfunction in the last season. After the Lakers lost the 2004 finals to Detroit, Shaq was traded. But Kobe did not only clash with superstars. He was brutal on role players too. Smush Parker started next to Kobe for 2 seasons. Years later, Kobe said Parker should not have been in the NBA. If Kobe did not trust you, he could freeze you out of the offense. With Kobe, teammates either met the standard or they got left behind. Draymond Green once punched Jordan Poole during a Warriors practice. This was not a little shove. This was not normal trash talk. It was a real punch. And the video leaked. The timing made it even worse. Poole had just helped Golden State win the 2022 NBA title. He was also about to sign a deal worth over $120 million. Then days before that contract, a veteran teammate knocked him down in practice. The Warriors fined Green. Green stepped away from the team, but he was not suspended for regular season games. The bigger problem was trust. Steve Kerr later said the team no longer had the trust needed to defend its title. Poole struggled in the 2023 playoffs. Then he was traded to Washington. Draymond was the emotional heart of the Warriors dynasty. But sometimes that same heart blew up the room. Jimmy Butler once walked into a Minnesota practice and turned it into a national story. He wanted to be traded. The Timberwolves were still trying to control the situation. Then Butler came back to practice. He joined the reserves. And those reserves beat the starters, including Karl Anthony Towns and Andrew Wiggins. That was not even the wildest part. After practice, Butler went on ESPN and talked openly about the team's internal problems. While he was still under contract, Butler was frustrated because he believed the young stars did not compete hard enough. Minnesota had just ended a 14-year playoff drought. But only months later, everything was burning again. The Timberwolves traded Butler to Philadelphia after 10 games. That is the Jimmy Butler experience. He can raise the level of a team, but if the culture feels wrong, he can shake the entire locker room. D'Angelo Russell broke Lakers' trust with one private video. He was the second pick in the 2015 NBA draft. Los Angeles expected him to become the future of the franchise. But during his rookie season, Russell secretly recorded Nick Young. In the video, Young talked about personal matters involving his relationship with Iggy Azalea. That video was never supposed to go public, but it leaked anyway, and the Lakers' locker room went cold immediately. Multiple reports said teammates isolated Russell. Veterans avoided him. Some players viewed him as untrustworthy. The issue was not just celebrity drama. It was the basic rule of a locker room. Private conversations are supposed to stay private. Russell was never proven to have intentionally leaked the video, but secretly recording a teammate was enough to damage his reputation. 2 years after drafting him, the Lakers traded Russell to Brooklyn. A franchise future became a lesson in trust. Andrew Bynum was supposed to be the Lakers' next great big man. Then everything disappeared fast. He was drafted at only 17 years old. He won 2 championships with Kobe Bryant and Pau Gasol. By 2012, Bynum was an all-star averaging almost 19 points and 12 rebounds a game. That sounds like a perfect franchise center. But the problem was that nobody really knew how badly he wanted all of it. Phil Jackson had questioned his focus and conditioning. In the 2011 playoffs, Bynum hammered J.J. Barea with a flagrant foul and took his jersey off while leaving. Then Philadelphia traded for him in the Dwight Howard deal. The Sixers built their season around Bynum. He played 0 games. A bowling-related knee setback turned the whole thing into a cruel joke. Cleveland tried him next, then suspended him for conduct detrimental to the team. The talent was real. The career vanished fast. Latrell Sprewell once choked his own coach during an NBA practice. And that is not an exaggeration. Sprewell was a very good player. He made multiple All-Star teams. He even made All-NBA first team. But his temper showed up long before the biggest scandal. He had already fought teammates in practice. Then December 1st, 1997 happened. Warriors coach P.J. Carlesimo corrected Sprewell during practice. Sprewell snapped. He went at Carlesimo. He grabbed his coach by the throat and choked him for several seconds. Teammates had to pull them apart. And the crazier part is that Sprewell came back later to confront him again. The NBA suspended him for almost a year. The Warriors tried to terminate his contract. Sprewell later helped the Knicks reach the 1999 finals. But choking a coach swallowed most of his legacy. If you like NBA stories like this, subscribe. Now back to the chaos. Stephon Marbury had the numbers of a star. But every team eventually got tired of him. He was the 4th pick in 1996. He averaged almost 20 points and more than 7 assists for his career. But in Minnesota, next to Kevin Garnett, Marbury became unhappy. He wanted a bigger market. He wanted a bigger role. And Minnesota lost a young duo that could have changed the franchise. In New Jersey and Phoenix, Marbury still had strong numbers. But the reputation kept getting heavier. Then he went to New York. Everything blew up with Larry Brown. Brown criticized Marbury's decision-making and defense. Marbury pushed back. The Knicks finished the 2005-06 season at 23-59. Then he clashed with Mike D'Antoni, too. He was removed from the rotation. He became isolated. Then he was bought out. The talent was always there. The winning never stayed long enough. Allen Iverson turned one press conference about practice into one of the most famous clips in sports history. And that is why this case never dies. Iverson was the 2001 MVP. He led the NBA in scoring multiple times. He dragged the Sixers to the finals with almost pure will and talent. But structure was never the easy part with Iverson. He was often criticized for missing practices, team meetings, and treatment sessions. Larry Brown constantly clashed with him over shot selection, defense, and preparation habits. The strange part is that they still reached the finals together. That is what makes the story complicated. Iverson could carry an entire team on his back, but he could also make the system around him extremely tense. Later in Detroit, he refused to accept a sixth-man role. He made it clear that he was not coming off the bench. The genius was real. The adjustment never came easily. Rick Barry was the kind of genius teammates respected but did not always enjoy being around. He was one of the greatest scorers ever. He is the only player to lead the NCAA ABA and NBA in points per game. In 1975, he carried Golden State to a championship and won Finals MVP. But playing next to Barry was not easy. He was famous for impossible standards and a brutal communication style. Barry would call out teammates during games. Bad defensive assignment. Turnover. Terrible shot selection. He said it all. Then came Game 7 of the 1976 Western Conference Finals. Barry felt Phoenix was playing him too physically and his teammates were not protecting him. So he basically stopped shooting in the second half. Golden State lost. Barry later admitted he was demanding and hard to be around. His talent was undeniable. The experience of being his teammate was something else. Jim Jackson was supposed to be part of the young core that saved Dallas. Then that core collapsed before it really began. The Mavericks had Jackson. They had Jamal Mashburn. Then they drafted Jason Kidd. The trio became known as the 3Js. On paper, it looked like an exciting young foundation. But chemistry quickly became the problem. Jackson held out for 54 games as a rookie during a contract dispute. Then his relationship with Kidd became tense. The media even pulled Tony Braxton rumors into the story. Braxton denied being the reason, but the real problem was still there. Dallas never won a playoff series with that trio. Kidd was traded in 1996. Jackson was traded in 1997. The talent was not missing. The locker room never held together. Ricky Davis once tried to shoot at his own basket to get a triple-double. It became one of the strangest stat-chasing moments the NBA has ever seen. On March 16, 2003, Cleveland was comfortably beating Utah. Davis had 28 points. He had 9 assists. He needed one more rebound. So in the final seconds, he shot the ball at Cleveland's own rim. The idea was obvious. Miss the shot. Grab the rebound. Finish the triple-double. But the NBA did not count it, because you cannot create a rebound by shooting at your own basket. Utah was furious. Deshaun Stevenson immediately shoved Davis. Coach Jerry Sloan called the move disrespectful. Cleveland traded Davis to Boston later that year. A few seconds of basketball, a reputation that followed him forever. Gilbert Arenas once turned a card debt into a gun scandal inside an NBA locker room. Before that, he was the face of the Washington Wizards. He was an all-star. He was an explosive scorer. He was Agent Zero. Then everything changed at the end of 2009. Arenas and Javaris Crittenton argued over a gambling debt on a team flight. Later, Arenas placed multiple unloaded guns near Crittenton's locker. According to reports, he told Crittenton to pick one. Crittenton then produced a loaded gun of his own. No shots were fired, but it happened inside an NBA facility. David Stern suspended Arenas. Then Arenas and Crittenton were both suspended for the rest of the season. Arenas also pleaded guilty to carrying an unlicensed pistol in Washington, D.C. Before the scandal, he was a franchise star. After the scandal, he was never an all-star again. DeMarcus Cousins had superstar numbers, but Sacramento never became stable around him. Cousins was drafted in 2010. He quickly became one of the most talented big men in the NBA. With the Kings, he averaged over 21 points and almost 11 rebounds across 7 seasons. But the team never made the playoffs once, and that is what makes the story heavier. Cousins clashed with coaches again and again. Paul Westphal, Keith Smart, Michael Malone, George Karl. The list kept growing. He was suspended for conduct detrimental to the team. He constantly picked up technical fouls. He yelled after bad passes, missed rotations, and turnovers. Teammates knew he was talented. Many also knew he was generous off the court. But on the court, his emotions could burn everything down. Then when he found rhythm in New Orleans, the Achilles injury hit. A career full of talent and full of chaos. These players were not short on talent. Many of them were legends, but sometimes facing them was easier than being their teammate. And in the NBA, that kind of drama never really disappears.